Hi, everyone. I'm Sandra Levy, Senior Editor of Drugstore News. Today, we're speaking with Lindsey Stagmaier. She's a Walmart pharmacy manager in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we're going to speak about caring for patients with allergies. Hi, Lindsey. It's great to see you.
Hi, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I'm really excited to speak with you. So let's get right to it. AccuWeather recently released its 2025 allergy forecast. It's confirming what a lot of people are feeling already. Pollen levels are soaring, spring allergies are here, and they're even arriving early for some people. Allergens are also appearing in new regions, affecting more people than ever. So how can people tell if they have an allergy versus a cold or a flu?
That's a great question. So in the community setting, oftentimes those symptoms are confusing. So first and foremost, if you're having a fever, typically that would mean it's more cold, cough, flu sort of related. However, some of the symptoms do overlap. Primarily with allergies, you can notice symptoms like itchy, watery eyes, sneezing. You can also have some postnasal drip. That postnasal drip can also cause a little bit of soreness in the throat because it can be raw. And so if you're having multiple symptoms and you're not really sure which one you're experiencing, I definitely would recommend you stop in with your community pharmacist and ask them their opinion. We do have lots of pharmacists throughout the country who are highly educated, and at Walmart specifically, about 90% of the population lives within 10 miles of a Walmart, and all of our Walmarts are staffed with highly educated pharmacists that are pretty much experts in this field at being able to ascertain what types of symptoms you're having. So if you're confused at all, I definitely recommend you stop by and have a conversation with your community pharmacist.
Excellent. But why is it so important to be proactive with allergies? What's the risk of not being proactive?
So being proactive with allergies is important, right? And that's because sometimes the medications that we take can take a couple of weeks to kind of build up to the right system for us to have the proper effects from it. So being proactive is important. So that way you're not, starting off in a position where you're already suffering. Being proactive would help you kind of mitigate that.
So what advice do you have, if a parent comes in and it's a family member, whether it's someone who's from the senior generation or they have infants or toddlers or just for themselves, what advice do you offer?
First and foremost, I want to recommend that we limit our exposure to the allergens that are present. And the first way you can do that is by checking your local pollen counts. Not only can this resource be able to help you determine how many pollen allergens are in the area, but it also can help you determine which one you're specifically having an issue with. It can help you identify which one you are more susceptible to. So that's what I recommend first. Secondly, I recommend you limit your outdoor activities during the time when pollen counts are high. That typically is going to be highest in the morning time. Also, you can do a couple non-pharmacological measures, such as, like we said, limiting your outdoor activities during the highest pollen count. You can also make sure you're closing your windows. Also, making sure you're washing your face and showering before bed. That can help. That way, when you're lying down and sleeping, you're not, having those pollen allergens on your body. So those are some non-pharmacologic measures, and everybody can do those. Doesn't matter how old you are. But specifically for over-the-counter recommendations, I typically recommend second generation antihistamines first line. So those are drugs like cetirizine and loratadine. What those medications do is they actually alleviate this histamine that's actually happening and causing the allergen symptoms. Those are definitely what I recommend first line. Usually only take those once a day. So that's helpful for patients because you don't have to take them multiple times a day. Second thing I usually recommend is a nasal steroid called fluticasone. That's administered directly in the nasal passages, and because of that, it does not have a lot of systemic absorption, and so it's generally recommended as safe. However, I do want to make sure that I say that not every medication is right for every patient, specifically for patients who have kidney problems and that sort of thing. Also for infants, we would definitely want to make sure that we discuss those options with a pediatrician before we recommend those across the counter. But like I said, we do have resources for you guys across the country to help you determine what medications are right for you specifically. And we do have experts in the stores that can help and decide what's right for you.
So if people do feel allergies coming on, they can just speak with the pharmacist and find out what kind of medications are available. And how long do you think the allergy season will last? Are there any predictions at this time?
Well, it's kind of variable. It's going to be variable based on the geography, so where you're at in the country, also the climate that you're experiencing. Sometimes we don't even think about certain factors that can cause more issues with the allergies, like wind. Even it being windy can make pollen sore. So there are lots of things that are going to depend on specific locations that you're in. But I do believe that they are predicting it. It's going to be a long allergy season based on where we're at right now and the levels that we've seen thus far.
Well, that's great advice you provided with us. I want to thank you for sharing your time and your expertise. I hope you'll come aboard with us one more time when, we're talking about another issue coming up.
Perfect. Well, I thank you so much for having me, and it was a great experience. Have a good day.